Welcome. I'm Crystal, working casually with the Forever in Motion team. I hope you'll join in for a 45-minute class today. We're going to be using the resistance band. Make sure that you have a sturdy chair nearby for our balance exercises, and at any time if you want to sit, feel more than welcome. Have a bit of water handy and some good footwear. If you have those things, we'll begin. The theme of today's class is going to be a little bit of focus on warm-up. At the time of recording this video, it is a chilly prairie Saskatchewan winter day, and it kind of got me thinking, boy, we really do need to make sure that we warm up our bodies always, but especially days like this where it might feel a little bit more easy to be on the couch. So we're going to do a really great warm-up. We'll also do some education on pain and exercising when we have pain. Some best practice advice regarding that. As always, make sure to modify. If something does not feel comfortable and right for you, then that means that you should not continue doing it. So never feel any pressure with these videos. Take breaks when you need and honor what your body is telling you. Great. So let's make our march a little bit more purposeful, a little bit bigger range with those arms and the hips. Let's think about drawing the belly button in towards the spine, finding our good tall posture, and offering our bodies some nice deep breaths. Rolling our shoulders back to help us find good posture, let's also invite some nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Great. So step touch, we're going to step side to side. Once our legs have this, we can invite some arm movement. It can be double arms, or single arms if that feels better for you. This can also be done seated in a chair. So choose whatever feels best for you today. Know that it doesn't have to be the same each time you participate. Every day is different. So why a warm-up? When we warm up, we want to work the muscles that we want to warm up the muscles that we're going to use during our workout. So Forever in Motion often targets as much of our body as we can, and so that's what we're going for in today's warm-up. We're going to move in all planes of motion, all directions, and moving arms, legs, as well as core. Now speaking of core, let's move arms straight and slow controlled knee lifts. So as we do this, you've got, the hips moving, the shoulders moving, but I'd also like us to think about what's going on in the core. Can you feel those muscles of stability throughout the torso helping to keep you upright and steady? Maybe balanced as well. I've got opposite arm moving with opposite leg. That is ideal for keeping our spine aligned. Good, so we are bringing knees out front. Our next move, we will do hamstring curls. And that'll bring our muscles of the back body into warm-up time. So 3, 2, 1, and hamstring curls. If you're able to, add a little row with your arms. That's going to activate the muscles of the upper back. So of course you're choosing a pace that is best for you. Some of the ways to find out what pace is good for you is a talk test. So are you able to hold a bit of a conversation with somebody? That's important to be able to do during the warm-up. If you are short of breath, then you're working too hard. Great, let's go for 3, 2, last one. Wonderful, march on the spot. I'll clear my throat, and then we're going to do a modified jumping jack. So again, moving into that side plane, we did step touches. This time, toe taps to the side. Add the arms when you get the rhythm with the legs. Now, could we switch the movement of the arms? I'm going out to the side. We saw this already. Could you move arms horizontally? A little bit of a brain challenge. It's not the usual. Three, 2. Let's go back to something that feels basic and simple and nice, an easy march. All right, tapping into our good tall posture, making sure that the crown of our head is lifting up, that our shoulders are open, we've got abdominals engaged and our bottoms tucked under. And this is going to be round 2. We're going to revisit a few of the moves that we've already accomplished. But this time, instead of it being about warm up and thinking about getting muscles moving for the first time perhaps of the day, we're going to do a little bit more focus on starting to elevate our heart rate. So that might mean faster movement, or it might mean bigger movements. You be the judge. Let's go with a little bit more focused march. Lift those knees. Find the pace that works for you. So still, you want to be able to maybe talk to somebody, but also another way to tell how hard you're working is an RPE, a rate of perceived exertion scale. That is a scale from 1 to 10, where 10 is working really hard, like the hardest you've ever worked. So I'd maybe suggest in this moment, if we worked around a 6, maybe if you're feeling adventurous, up to a 7. We're going to take this to a wide leg march in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Keep those knees lifting up high and pump the arms with purpose. Great job. Maybe dig those feet down, plant, make sure you're not tippy toes. And we wrap this up in 3, 2, 1. Good. Heel digs coming up next. So first we narrow that march. Take a few nice deep breaths. Allow your body a moment to reset and transition to the next move. Here we go with heel digs out front. Lift those toes up. That's really important to engage those muscles on the lower part of the leg. I'm doing a little bicep curl right now. And apologies, my dog has decided to come and visit. Sorry about that. So we want to make sure that we feel the blood circulating throughout our body. Another thing that's happening during the warm-up, synovial fluid is something that lubricates our joints, and that starts to get moving a little bit more around the joints during the warm-up. So also with that injury prevention. Hope you feel all those things. Good work. We're moving into toe taps behind in 3, 2. My puppy is not getting the attention that she hopes for. Tapping our toes behind. Let's do a few wrist circles. Good. And then work the arms the other way. Tapping our toes, thinking about opening up through the hips a little bit, still working with our endurance and cardio. And then moving into a modified cross-country ski next. So we're going to stretch arms and legs wide. We've got opposite arm moving with opposite leg. Really important to keep our torso aligned here. Maybe even keeping a smile on. Sometimes that helps too, I think. Reaching for the sky. Maybe trying to pull the sun a little bit closer to us on this very frigid day. Maybe transitioning, moving to face a different direction. See if that changes your perspective on things. Does it feel a little easier? Rotate around 45 degrees. And we're finished with our cross-country ski in 3. This was much warmer than being outside. 2. And 1. Great. Easy march on the spot. Using a bit of imagination here next, we're going to do slow and controlled side steps. We're going to do high knee side steps. So as if there's like a little snowbank, a fence beside us, we're going to step up and over. Up and over. Good. So as far as cardio mountain goes, we're starting to come down a little bit. We've hit the peak in this exercise video, and we're slowing the movement down, but we are asking for big range because these joints are lubricated and warmed up. I do have a little crack in one of my hips. That reminds me we were going to talk about pain. I'm not in pain. But anyways, is it okay to exercise if you have chronic pain? And the answer to that, do you know it? It is. In fact, exercise can sometimes help with chronic pain. Sometimes it can help reduce the amount of pain that we feel. It can also help people sleep better. It can help with our nutrition. We might have a little bit more appetite. Pain can reduce appetite sometimes. And if we've got a little bit of workout, maybe we might feel like eating more nutritiously. It helps with our activities of daily living, our independence. You know what? It helps with our mood too sometimes. When we're living with chronic pain, it can really be difficult with our emotions and then our behaviors. So this is so important to try to incorporate, but it's not always easy. I'll give some tips coming up next. We're done hopping over the snowbank. Let's do a little bit of a mambo. Just again, we're slowing our cardio down. So we're going to keep one foot planted, step one foot forward, side, and back. So this planted foot, it's like I've got a little piece of sticky gum underneath, and I'm just lifting it up slightly. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I'm not moving it. My other leg is moving in all the planes of motion that we've already tackled in our exercises. Add a little bit of arms if you wish. Forward, side, and back. Mambo forward, side, and back. I'm not a dancer, so to those of you who were like, wow, Crystal, not a mambo, I apologize. We are going to have a water break after we finish mamboing with the other leg. I hope if you felt thirsty that you offered yourself some water. And yeah, that you're taking breaks as you need. Great, once more. Then we're gonna switch legs, move the sticky gum to under the other foot. Then prepare to march forward, side, and back, getting all our planes of motion. Big range, but slowing down our cardio movements right now. think we did about 8 on the other leg, so we're gonna even it out, trying to bring balance into our bodies. Well, team, I think one more and we've got this. That was a beautiful 15-minute warm-up as well as cardio session. So we hopefully have the blood flowing, hopefully feeling great. Take a moment to line ourselves up, lift our hearts and feel proud. Take a few nice deep breaths here. Add a shoulder roll back a couple times. Drop tension off the back of the neck. And have a water break. So our next series of exercises will be strength exercises. Grabbing our bands and preparing for that. I'm going to start with a seated row. So placing the band underneath the arches of the feet, finding good alignment with my back. Am I close enough into the camera? Okie dokie, I hope you can see me. Now I'm not sure you can see my feet. Anyways, we better just get to work. We're on the front part of our chairs. We've got a slight bend in our knees and we have beautiful tall posture. Exhale, bring the elbows back and inhale, release. Exhale on exertion, keeping wrists neutral. How often do we strength train? 2 to 3 times a week. If that was your answer, you are correct. And we do about 8 to 10 reps of each of the exercises. A lot of these strength training exercises can be done with weights as well. I think today I will mostly just use the band, but weights are a great way to strength train. If you'd like to challenge yourself in this new year, perhaps that's the way to do it. Good, one more. Nice, bring the band out front. We'll do a chest fly. So as though you're toweling off with your band, bring it around behind. Opening up, I've got my palms forward. Exhale, palms together. Inhale to open. Exhale, palms together. Focus on squeezing your chest muscles together, slowly and controlled as you bring those arms together. This is my number 10. You are stopping whenever you need to. There is nothing more important than you listening to your own bodies. Chest, back squeeze next. So I've got my hands about a finger distance apart here. Elbows out at my sides, thinking about good tall posture, core engagement. And then when you're ready, use the exhale to squeeze the back muscles. So thinking about squeezing shoulder blades together. The band is staying at about chest height, elbows are bent and wrists are neutral. Managing pain with exercise. Right, so we've got to get back to that. That's one of our education goals today. So how can we navigate exercise when we've got pain? I'm going to start with a stat here actually, because I'd like to know, what are your thoughts about this stat? In 2013, where did I write this down? Here it is. In 2013, 47% of older adults said that they exercise with a bit of chronic pain. So what are your thoughts on that? Does that stat surprise you? Do you think that that's no surprise at all? Anyways, leave it in the comments. I'd be interested to know. So that's one of the reasons why. This was from Dr. Susan Tupper of the University of Saskatchewan. It was from a 2016 presentation, but 47%. So anyways, so how do we navigate exercising with pain? Let's do a lateral raise while we enter into that conversation. Stepping on our band. Can you see my feet? And I'm going to do single arm, bringing it out to the side. I actually want to have my thumbs pointed up. It makes it easier on my shoulders. This band has a lot of resistance, by the way, so I'm going to move with very little range. Okay, so if you have pain before you exercise, consider taking some pain medication. Consider making a very purposeful and directed warm-up to help eliminate those areas of pain, loosen them up. During exercise, consider using an extra device like a TENS machine. Sometimes if you have mild pain, that can really help to eliminate some of the sensation of pain. Think about the intensity that you are moving through your exercises. And make sure to take breaks as you need. Great. You know, this band is so nicely placed under our feet. Let's keep it here and do a little bit of a resisted squat. So standing with the band nicely anchored underneath our feet, holding the band somewhere so that we've got a little bit of resistance. I'm going to bend down. I'm going to wrap that band around so I've got even more resistance. And then exhale, stand. So squat with a bit of resistance. Now we want to make sure the weight is going back into our heels and our glutes. We keep our chest lifted. We're moving slow and controlled. This is an advanced squat, so if you're thinking, oh, Crystal, that's too much, by all means, you do not need to use a resistance band for a little bit of extra. You can just do a basic squat. Beautiful. And keeping the band where it is, let's do alternating bicep curls. Switching it around a little bit, let's have one palm back and one palm forward. So I'm gonna lift with one hand and do the bicep curl with the other. We've got reverse on one arm and a basic bicep curl on the other. Elbows are staying close to the sides as if we had a old-fashioned newspaper, not like they make them today, between our torso and our arm. So after completing about 5 of these, I'm going to switch the position of my palm, palm back, palm forward, and then resume so that now I've got the other arm doing a reverse curl, and the other arm doing basic bicep. And then after exercise, if you are working through pain, perhaps some deep breathing, some visualization helps, making sure you give yourself a gentle stretch at the end. making sure that you hydrate, and applying any modalities that help to relieve pain for you. So making sure to use heat and cold therapies. Pharmaceutical intervention, again, we talked about using some pain meds before. Feel welcome to take them after, of course, too, to help reduce any discomfort after exercise. Okay, triceps, because we just worked biceps. So let's toss the band over one shoulder. Take that opposite arm, stretch it wide, maybe offer yourself a nice deep breath. And then bring it up to your shoulder. The hand that the band is closest to is going to hang on at rib cage height. Exhale and extend the arm. When working out with pain as a consideration, it's also important to recognize that different times of the day are better for different people. So some people who have a lot of stiffness and pain, discomfort after sleeping, it takes them a while to get moving in the mornings. And that might mean that that person should exercise in the afternoons, perhaps even evenings. For me, I feel like an evening workout sometimes interferes with my good sleep, but recognizing that it's different for everybody, right? So I think sometimes early morning exercise is a favorite, but if people are suffering with pain and stiffness, that might not be the best. Great, I'm going to switch to the other arm. So taking time between these exercises. Positioning is important. Taking nice deep breaths is important. And checking in with how we feel, that's pretty important. Exhale and pull. This will be our last strength exercise. There we go. Pat yourself on the back. Well done. Have a drink of water, and our next series of exercises will be working on balance. I'm going to turn my chair so that I've got the backrest available to me for better support and balance. Let's find ourselves with our feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. We want to have a nice, firm grounding here. Weight shift from one side and then to the other. Tap into our ABCs of posture. Our abdominal muscles, our bottom is tucked in. Think about lifting your chest muscles. I always like our hearts lifted. And also considering our chin, making sure that our ears are over our shoulders. And as we sway side to side, we're accommodating to getting used to shifting our weight from one side to the other. Now I'd like us to shift our weight up onto our toes. Pause here for a few breaths. Good, and then back onto your heels. I'm gonna have light fingertip touch on my chair until I get used to this. So weight shifting onto our toes and back onto our heels. with the goal of working our balance, slow and controlled, mindful movement. Great. Our leg strength was short today, so we're going to tap into that during our balance series here. Taking our weight onto one leg and moving our toes in, leading with our heel, we'll extend our leg out to the side. So keys here, we want to tap into muscles on the back of our hip, our glutes. We want to be wary of not getting momentum to help us, but it's coming right from here. Oftentimes it's not a big movement. And I also invite you to not hang on if that's available. Great. We're going to move through two more and then pause and see if we can keep that leg lifted and reach the opposite arm out to the side. You are a star. Yes, you are. 3, 2, 1. Great. Let's switch to the other side. So of course, keeping the knee soft in that standing leg. Less arm support as we get used to the movement. Maybe you don't even need to touch down with your toes when you come back to neutral. Lots of ways to challenge ourselves. Great. One more, then we'll keep that leg extended and see how many challenges do you want. You can hang on to the chair, that's totally fine, but see if you can stretch the limits a little bit for 3, 2, 1. Great job. Well done. I'm going to have another sip of water here. I invite you to just sort of move a little side to side, weight shift, and get rid of any tension that we might have built up. Excuse me, sorry about that. All right, so tandem stance. We're going to have one foot forward, one foot back. And this is going to look different amongst all of us. Some people might want to have a little bit more distance between their legs. The most challenging is to have a narrow base of support. Let's rock our weight forward and rock our weight back. And again, as we get used to this movement, perhaps even letting go of our stable support, finding our palms open. What do you feel in the lower legs? Are things wiggling and shaking a little bit here for me, I gotta tell you. All right, I bet you know what's next. We're gonna switch, put the other leg forward, other leg back. Find that distance that works for you, and then invite that weight shift forward and back, belly button to spine, palms forward to keep our chest lifted. And of course, this could be done seated as well. We can weight shift forward and back, seated or standing. Good work. Now bringing our feet side by side, crossing our arms, cradling elbows in our hands. We'll do a little bit of torso mobility. So I'd like us to turn one way, pause, come back to neutral, and turn the other way. For these last few, can you take your gaze over even further to the back of the room? Good. Extending our arms out front, watching your thumb with your gaze and seeing if this changes how your balance feels. Slowly coming back to our neutral starting position and repeat with the other arm. Maybe giving yourself a nice deep breath as you open up, and we'll just repeat once more on each side. Good. Bringing our hands in, taking a moment here to line ourselves up. 3 nice deep breaths. Feeling balanced and strong and good cardio endurance, good hearts. Have a drink of water and let's move into sitting for our stretch component. So about 5 minutes remaining in our exercise video today. So, excuse me, if you are someone who suffers with chronic pain and doesn't have that same feeling at the end of exercise of accomplishment, maybe take time for some visualization and mindful exercises. There's some great resources online. I won't do a visualization and meditation today, but we will slow it down and try to bring that awareness inwards so that we can mindfully wrap up the class, bring attention to our muscles and our joints, and really ask ourselves, how are we feeling at the end of this class? So extending one leg out, let's give our ankles a wee bit of time to stretch and release with some ankle circles. And then going the other way. Then planting that foot firmly on the ground. Coming to the front part of our chairs, placing our hands on the bent knee. Take time to find the good foundation here. Engaging your core muscles, lifting up through the crown of the head. A deep breath in, and on the exhale, hinge at the hips, finding a little stretch in the back of this extended leg. Long breaths are key here. Good, and let's repeat with the other leg. Ankle circles to begin. Going the other way, 5, 4. And then heel to the floor, toes are brought up, hands on our bent knee. Finding our good tall posture and our thoughts are positive and proud of ourselves. Exhale, hinge forward, letting these muscles release in the back of the leg. So exercise overall can be used as a pain management strategy. There's a lot of keys to managing pain with exercise. Think about how you can navigate it before you exercise, during exercise, and after exercise. Think about the time of day, the length of physical activity. A lot of considerations, but overall, research has shown it to be an effective way to assist with pain management. Okay, we want to think about stretching now our quadriceps, our hip flexors. So finding our weight on one cheek on the chair, taking our other leg back. Then think about your pelvis here as a bit of a bowl. So if it's forward, we won't feel as much stretch. Tip it back, draw that pelvis up. Good. If it feels comfortable and nice, you could even raise one arm and take a few deep breaths. Whatever your body needs right now. Good. Bringing those legs together. Let's repeat on the other side. So make sure that front foot is well planted on the floor. You've got toes of the back leg planted. Drawing the pelvis into neutral or even tipping it back slightly will help to stretch these muscles. Arm position, it's your choice. Does this feel good? Does it feel like too much? Nice long deep breaths. Great. So we did some wrist circles at the beginning. Let's really focus on those wrists for a moment. Just moving them slowly. Getting a little bit of extra mobility, extra range. Then we're going to take one hand, extend it out front, elbows straight, fingers pointing down to the floor, and then add just a little extra love there. Can you feel these muscles opening up? Great. Take that same arm, extend it out to the side. Enjoy a few deep breaths as the shoulder opens up. And then wrap that arm around. Give yourself a pat on the back. Your other arm can offer some support and a little bit of extra stretch as we open up now at the back of the shoulder. Long, fluid breath. Release, and let's take it from the top. Easy does it. Hello, wrists. Good. Extend the arm, palms open, fingers down. Apply love as needed. It shouldn't be hurtful. Then opening up to the side, feel the shoulder, the front of the shoulder open. Take those deep breaths that are so important. And then wrapping your arm around, giving yourself a pat on the back, finding a little stretch in the back of the shoulder. And at this time, I do want to start with some gratitude. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate that people take time out of their schedules to bring physical activity into their life. There's so many benefits to it. And our Forever in Motion team is so grateful to you. Taking one hand down as though you're going to reach for something on the ground, gentle ear to shoulder, release tension and stress from the neck. And bring that other hand to the thigh. Reach down with the other hand, ease into this gentle neck stretch. And as we come back up to neutral, let's bring our hands to our heart. Lift open, inhale, exhale, draw them back in. 2 more of those. And we will end with 3 overhead stretches, deep breaths as well. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, rain those fingers down. We always appreciate your comments. Please feel free to let us know what you thought of this video below. And we hope that you have a very wonderful, warm day